Everything tried to stop you. Life wasn't handing you anything easy. The world wasn't cheering you on. But you still showed up. You kept waking up in seasons that tried to put you to sleep emotionally. You kept moving when you had every reason to give up. You kept loving even after love disappointed you. You kept hoping even after hope felt expensive. There is nothing average about that, nothing weak about that, nothing small about that. That is warrior energy. That is chosen one energy. That is I refuse to fold energy. Some people only see your strength now. They have no idea what it cost you. They don't know the nights you wiped your own tears and then told yourself, tomorrow we try again. They don't know the mornings you had to talk yourself back into your own life. You kept walking through storms others never survived. And still, you show up with love in your heart. You show up with purpose in your soul. You show up with generosity despite how often people took advantage. You're not bitter. You're just done being played with. You're not closed off. You're just protecting what's sacred. You're not heartless. You're healed enough to set standards. Welcome, enlightened ones. Let's elevate. People see the shine, but not the shadow you crawled out of. They see the strength, but not the moments you almost shattered. They see the glow, but not the work it took to turn your pain into power. Every scar you carry is proof that you refuse to quit. Every time life tried to end a chapter, you chose to write another page. That's resilience. That's rebirth. That's calling. And now it's reward season. Not because life is suddenly easier, not because people finally get it, not because everything around you changed, but because you changed. See, life didn't break you. It built you. Trials didn't weaken you. They trained you. Loss didn't end you. It freed you. You have survived storms that weren't meant to test you, but meant to transform you. Life wasn't trying to destroy you. It was trying to wake you up. Wake you up to who you really are. Wake you up to what you really deserve. Wake you up to how unstoppable you really can be. Because every time someone counted you out, you kept counting yourself in. Every time someone tried to make you feel small, you remembered you come from greatness. Every time someone tried to break your spirit, you rebuilt stronger. This is why elevation is on your timeline now. Not because you're lucky, but because you were loyal to your becoming. You showed up when people disappeared. You showed up when the road looked impossible. You showed up even when you were exhausted from showing up alone. That deserves history-making blessings. That deserves opportunities chasing you. That deserves a life that looks like everything you prayed for on nights nobody knew you were breaking. You trusted your survival skills before you trusted your circumstances. That's why you're still here. That's why you're still rising. That's why you're stepping into promise now. You made it, and you're not even done yet. There are chapters ahead that feel like fresh air. There are rooms ahead that feel like destiny. There are people ahead that feel like home. Nothing can delay what you're aligned for. Nothing can block what's assigned to you. Nothing can cancel what you were built to carry. You didn't come this far to question if you're worthy. You earned your existence here. You earned your spot at the table. You earned the grace you're walking into. Because when everything tried to stop you, you still showed up. And you keep showing up. That is why you are unstoppable. That is why you will win. That is why this elevation is already yours. When you look back, really look back, you'll notice something powerful. Every version of you that thought, I can't take any more, took more. Every version of you that felt alone was being guided. Every version of you that tried to hold everything together was becoming stronger with every single crack. Life isn't trying to destroy you. Life is molding you into the person who can hold everything you once prayed for. Because here's the truth most people avoid. Strength is not built in comfort. Greatness doesn't grow in the safe zones. Elevation doesn't happen when life is easy. It happens when life feels heavy and you carry yourself anyway. It happens when everything feels uncertain, but you still choose faith over fear. It happens when you keep doing the work, even when the results haven't shown up yet. You kept moving, you kept breathing, You kept fighting silence with action when words failed you. You didn't wait for someone to save you. You became your own rescue team. Let's be real. You've been your own hero more times than anyone knows. And maybe that's why people assume you don't need anything. You don't need help. You don't need support. You don't need consistency. But they're wrong. Just because you carry the load well doesn't mean it's light. Just because you survived doesn't mean you didn't bleed. Just because you found a way doesn't mean it was fair. But you learned something crucial. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to honor your needs. You are allowed to ask for better. Because being strong doesn't mean being silent. It means being self-aware about who deserves access to your strength. You learned that not everyone gets to walk with you into the next chapter. You learned that some people were only meant to witness your struggle, not your success. When you start shining, the ones who counted you out will act like they always knew. They'll pretend they believed in you when they never did. They'll want to benefit from a victory they never helped you fight for. That's why boundaries are not just necessary. They're sacred. You're not being petty. You're being protective. You're being wise. People who do not value you should not have access to you. And you learned that through pain. The kind that doesn't show on skin but lives deep in the heart. But look at you now. You learned the language of no. You learned the art of letting go. You learned the courage of choosing yourself without apology. You learned that loyalty is not the same as self-sacrifice. You learned that love should never feel like losing yourself. You learned that peace is worth walking away for. And now, you're acting accordingly. That makes people uncomfortable, because they were comfortable when you had no boundaries. They preferred you broken. They preferred you compliant. They preferred you silent. But you evolved, and evolution is offensive to anyone committed to staying the same. So they called you distant, cold, different, selfish. But the truth is, you finally love yourself enough to stop accepting half effort from people who expect full access. You are not their emotional crutch. You are not their backup plan. You are not their second chance after they mishandled the first. You stepped into your power, and now they can't manipulate you with guilt or history or nostalgia. You woke up, and once you wake up, you never see the world, or the people in it, the same way again. Your peace costs too much to hand it out cheaply. The new you protects your purpose at all costs. The new you honors the journey it took to get here. The new you is not replacing the old you. The new you is the old you's dream fulfilled. Every time you chose yourself, you won. Every time you walked away, you grew. Every time you healed a wound, you leveled up. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly on time for the version of life that sees your worth clearly. You survived every attempt to break your spirit. You outgrew every environment that tried to keep you small. You overcame every moment you doubted your own strength. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. That's destiny. That's resilience in motion. You ever notice how the hardest times also revealed the real ones? You learned who checks on you without needing anything. You learned who roots for you when it doesn't benefit them. You learned who stands beside you when the room is empty. Hard seasons are honest seasons. When you were high, everyone wanted a seat at the table. When you were low, you learned how many chairs were empty. And that lesson hurt, but it set you free. Because you stopped begging people to stay who were comfortable leaving. You stopped trying to convince people to care who only cared when they needed something. You stopped expecting loyalty from people who don't even respect themselves. You stopped shrinking your worth to make someone else feel big. You stopped holding on to what kept letting go. Your heartbreak became your boundary. Your disappointment became your direction. Your pain became your protection. And you became your own backup. You learned how to eat alone instead of starving with company. You learned how to clap for yourself when no one else saw your progress. You learned that solitude isn't punishment, it's preparation. You weren't isolated, you were being incubated. Healing isn't loud, transformation isn't loud, alignment isn't loud. Growth shows up quietly and then all at once. One day, you look at yourself and you don't recognize the strength you built from chaos. One day, your reflection looks like someone undeniable. One day, your story stops being about survival and starts being about success. That day is arriving because you stopped chasing what was hurting you and started attracting what is meant for you. You let go of people who were committed to misunderstanding you. You released situations that demanded your suffering. You abandoned environments where you had to beg for respect. You stopped explaining your worth to people who couldn't afford the price. You realized, if someone wants to leave your life, let them leave. If someone wants to doubt you, let them watch. If someone wants to underestimate you, let them learn. Everything that left made room for everything real. Every ending was making space for a beginning. Every no was pushing you closer to the right yes. You're stepping into rooms your past self prayed for. You're becoming someone your future self is proud of. You're turning pain into pure power and silence into strategy. You're no longer surviving life, you're designing it. From now on, your energy is invitation only. Your presence is earned, not assumed. Your love is sacred, not discount. Your strength is for you first, then others second. You're done sacrificing your peace for people who worship chaos. You're done apologizing for becoming someone stronger than the person who was once stepped on. You're done letting fear hold the pen to your story. Because you realize something, courage isn't loud. It's the quiet voice that says, I'm still here after every hit life throws. You didn't fold, you didn't retreat, you didn't let go of yourself. You are still showing up like the fighter you were born to be. And that is the difference between destiny and regret. You're done auditioning for roles in other people's lives. You're the main character now, and the plot twist is coming. They don't even know who they tried to break. They don't even know what kind of miracle you are. They don't even know how heavy the crown you carry is. But they're about to. Because this comeback is personal, this glow-up is spiritual, this season is the return of everything you were patient for. You are unstoppable now, and the world is about to adjust to the version of you that refused to die in the battle. Let's talk about this version of you, the one standing here right now, the one who refuses to go backwards, the one who refuses to lower your standards, the one who refuses to doubt your own light anymore. You didn't get here easy. You didn't get here quick. You didn't get here painless. You got here because you fought. You got here because you healed. You got here because you kept showing up when everything tried to shut you down. Your courage wasn't loud, but it was consistent. You didn't need permission to keep becoming. You didn't need applause to stay loyal to your vision. When life said, stop, you said, watch me. This season right here, this is your collection season. Collect the blessings, collect the peace, collect the love you always gave. Collect the opportunities that were delayed until you were ready to handle them. Everything you lost comes back in better form. Everything denied returns with interest. Everything broken gets rebuilt stronger. And now, you don't shrink for anyone. You don't soften your truth to make others comfortable. You don't betray yourself to belong. You belong anywhere your feet decide to stand. You didn't go through all that to stay the same. You didn't fight those battles to question your worth now. You didn't survive that storm to apologize for the sunshine you're finally stepping into. This ain't luck. This is alignment catching up. This is your promise turning physical. This is everything you refuse to give up on, delivering itself to you on time. You're not chasing anymore. You're attracting. You're not proving anymore. You're embodying. You're not hoping anymore. You're expecting. Hope was the seed, and belief is the harvest. You watered your future with tears nobody saw. Now watch what grows. You earned every inch of your breakthrough. You earned every lesson that turned into wisdom. You earned every new level that tried to scare you before it elevated you. This is your turn to receive what you once thought was too big for you. Nothing is too big for you now. Because the version of you that kept showing up deserves to sit at the table with the version of you that's about to show out. Your name is on blessings that fear can't access. Your identity is embossed in destiny's book. You are more than a survivor. You are more than a fighter. You are more than a comeback. You are the storm that learned to shine. You are the miracle that refused to stay hidden. You are the proof that strength is a spirit. And anybody who doubted you will witness the proof that you were never the underdog, you were the threat. They'll wonder how you kept surviving. They'll wonder how you kept glowing. They'll wonder how you kept winning. Tell them, I showed up. Even when it hurt. Even when I failed. Even when I was tired. Even when I was scared. I showed up. And I'm still showing up. And I'm not stopping until everything meant for me is in my hands. This is your elevation. Walk into it boldly. Walk into it loudly. Walk into it without apology. And as you rise, you give others the courage to rise too. So if you're feeling this energy in your bones right now, if you know this message was speaking directly to your spirit, don't just watch the rise. Be the rise. Subscribe to Echoes of Enlightenment Oracle. Join the movement. Protect your peace. Align with your purpose. Stay enlightened.